A very good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization initiated by the leader, Ralph C. Smedley, with the sole motive to improve communication and leadership skills among the members across the globe. TM International has 15,900 clubs, more than 345 members in 142 countries. Wordsmith Toastmasters Club is one of them. Toastmasters International works on the four pillars of values, namely I for integrity, R for respect, S for service, and E for excellence. The mission of the club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, here are some codes of conduct. Kindly check if your mobile is in switch off or silent mode. Speakers who are coming to the screen, please refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. When the speaker is on the screen, kindly refrain from moving so as to not distract the speaker, and the members are requested to come in professional attire. It is now time to start our 600th meeting. For the benefit of the guests, all Toastmasters meetings shall be started and ended by one person called the presiding officer. Today's presiding officer is a chartered accountant. He has been part of Toastmasters for 2 years. And from the words of our club president, when I asked him a few weeks ago for an intro, like 3 weeks back, he said, our presiding officer for today is calm, composed, ever smiling, and is someone who faces challenges head on and never says no. And of course, I'm sure everyone agrees, including me. Please put your hands together for our club's VP Education, Toastmaster Abhishek. The screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samyukta, for the warm introduction. It's like a privilege for me to welcome all the wordsmiths and Toastmasters and the esteemed guests for our Chennai Wordsmith 600th milestone meeting. I, as a presiding officer, declare the meeting number 600 open. Let me give the control to our President Toastmaster Arun Kumar for a few opening words. Toastmaster Arun Kumar, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, and good evening, dear Toastmasters and the guests present over here. If you had asked me 4 days back if you would be attending the meeting, I would have definitely said a big no, because I was in hospital and I was active for the last few days. So I'm so thankful today, being a Thanksgiving day today. I'm so thankful for the doctors and others so that I'm attending the meeting today. And I'm so thankful to all the ExCom members as well for putting up all the efforts to making this grand event, 600th milestone meeting, a grand success. And I'm so excited and still thrilled as you are to see this great milestone meeting. So without any further ado, I would like to give back the control to the presiding officer today to take over the charge and give us a great meeting. Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. Can we have a guest introduction quickly? Do we have any guests present here? Bindu, can you please unmute yourself and let us know about yourself? Okay, so we can then quickly move upon. Maybe we can have the guest introductions later in the later part of the meeting. So it's time to start the meeting. So I'm also equally excited and, as President said, thrilled to witness the 600th meeting for today's Chennai Wordsmiths milestone meeting. Just a few weeks back, we were just looking upon what could be the theme for the meeting. We have been practiced for this new normal from March. So ever since from March, there have been a lot of changes the way we do any task in our day-to-day life, be it professional or be it educational curriculum, whatever it is. But one thing never stopped was our learning from our Toastmasters journey. Be it offline or be it online, our learning from Toastmasters continues. And we expect, this Team Infinity expects this learning to continue forever. That is the reason we just came out of the theme Resurgence 2020. The theme for the milestone meeting is Resurgence 2020. Can you have a big round of applause? And I request the members to just give an applaud and encourage members who present the theme of the day in their speeches. Also, it just reminds me of one quote. So kindly bear with me. This is the last quote and I'm going to tell upon before I give the control. Once you start celebrating the little victories in life, the little victories be converting our Toastmasters journey from offline into an online. Once you start celebrating the little victories in life, you will realize how infinite that truly are. It's not my code, it's just looted from Google. So thanks to that Google. With that note, I thank Team Infinity for this wonderful opportunity. And to take over this meeting, I call upon MCs for today's meeting, Toastmaster Aravind and Toastmaster Anandita. So I guess Toastmaster Anandita will be taking control over from me. Toastmaster Anandita, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the 600th milestone meeting of Chennai Wordsmith Toastmasters Club. The year 2020 has been quite a challenge for all of us, including the way our club functions and club functions. Once this lockdown was announced, our meetings were conducted online. I'm sure most of us would have missed the tea and biscuits that we would have got during our offline meetings and the gossips we had after the meeting. So that's something I really missed. We were speaking in public in front of a laptop. So somewhere I had my doubts whether online meetings work well for Toastmasters and how it's going to work well for me. But on the bright side, the online meetings gave us an opportunity to interact with Toastmasters across the globe. Like we had joint meetings in Mexico, Canada, and Bahrain. So, in spite of all these challenges, here we are in the 600 milestone meeting. 600 milestone is strong. This is really a huge honor and achievement for our club. I'm proud to be a wordsmith here, and I hope you are too. So now let's get into the program. To lighten our spirits, we have Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran to make us smile. Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, as a joke master, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Not to make you all smile, but make you all laugh. All right. Hi, everybody. You all know people were affected due to Nivar cyclone. That's the talk of the town, Nivar cyclone. As water entered everybody's house, everybody was affected. But my dear friends, honestly speaking, we were the worst affected. You know how? Water did not enter our house. All our in-laws entered our house. My dear friends, that was a joke. A Toastmaster turned speaker, like Paul Bhaskaran, went for a walk. And he lost his way, landed up in a dense forest. He was shocked when he saw a tiger coming to attack him. Not Rajiv Tiger. Huh? Immediately, he lay down under a tree and tiger came close to him. The speaker felt effective communication will always save one's life. And he started pleading with the tiger, begging, in fact, with the tiger, that he's a great speaker, was on his way to the wordsmith meeting, and not to kill him, not to kill him. The tiger responded, okay, since you are a speaker, do deliver a speech. If your speech is boring, I would kill you. If your speech is soothing and mesmerizing, I would slay you so that you can run away. The speaker also agreed. He started delivering his speech, ladies and gentlemen. And the tiger slowly closed its eyes. The speaker ran helter-skelter to see safety. Tiger slowly opened its eyes, said to itself, my difference, it said to itself, thank God I closed my eyes. Otherwise, this fellow would have killed me by continuing his speech. My dear friends, for those who did not laugh, those were jokes. Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran. So before going on to the session, I would like to call Abhishek again on the screen. He has something to say actually.
Sorry, my dear Toastmaster. So I'll take this minute to recognize our District 120 Chief Judge, Wordsmithian to DTM Reena. I'll also take a minute to recognize Area B4, our Area Director, Toastmaster Vaishali.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Also, I will try to recognize Area B5 Director, Toastmaster Periyanna. Toastmaster Periyanna was also a wordsmithian maybe a few years back. So I'll give the control back to Toastmaster Nandita. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. So let's move on to the meeting. In the previous meeting, the meeting we had last week, which is meeting 599, we had conducted an icebreaker contest. We have two speakers here who will be presenting their icebreakers. Since these speeches were evaluated in the previous meeting, this we will not be having the evaluation session. The objectives of this icebreaker speech is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and discover his or her speaking skills. The timing device will be shown like at 4 minutes, the timer will be showing the green card. At 5 minutes, the time will be showing the yellow card, and at 6 minutes, the time will be showing the red card. Please note that there will be 30 seconds grace time for you to complete your speech. So with this, let me call the first speaker to present her speech, which is Toastmaster Shreya. Toastmaster Shreya, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anandita. Could you please confirm if I am visible and audible?
Yeah, you're visible and audible.
Thank you. I recently heard of a book named Personality Isn't Permanent, written by a psychologist. Its title reminded me of how different I was as a person 15-20 years ago and the kind of person I am today. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to all of you. Today, I'd like to share with you my transformation from a shy, introvert girl at the age of 4 to a not so shy, not so introvert anymore woman at the age of 24. Being the only child, I was the center of attention among my parents, my neighbors, and my cousins. We lived in Mumbai with my grandparents. Isn't growing up with grandparents fun? New stories every day. I've learned so many new things from the stories my grandma would tell me from the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Panchatantra, and Aesop's fables. When I was in school, apart from my friends, I also cherished the company of Tinkle, Amar Chitrakatha, Tintin, and my favorite, Enid Blyton books. As a young voracious reader, I loved language and words. Not surprisingly, I played Scrabble at an advanced level right from the age of 5 and have won many accolades. An interesting contrast was when I wanted to engage in a physical sport and I enrolled in my school basketball team, where I represented my school at the district level. Being a team sport, I learned the discipline of training and practicing together with the other girls in my team. Somewhere around the 12th grade, deep down, I felt I needed to be more outgoing. So I made up my mind to pursue engineering in a college outside my home city. It was a bold decision for both me and my parents, but I saw it as a way to develop myself and become independent. I was thrilled to bits when I got admission in computer science at BITS Pilani in Hyderabad. That was one of the best decisions I ever made. Once I entered the campus, it was as though a new person emerged out of me, the extrovert Striya, waiting to explore, waiting to experience, waiting to experiment. It was a complete paradigm shift. That girl who hesitated to speak to new people was now talking to lots of new folks and making new friends. What? My best friend Shirin would get tired of walking with me all the way from the hostel to the academic block for attending classes, not because of the distance, but because I would start chatting with several people along the route. In the spirit of experimenting, I education, I also volunteered to be part of different clubs and departments. Because I like languages, I joined language clubs such as Hindi, English, Marathi, Gujarati, Tamil, and my mother tongue, Telugu. I also discovered my penchant for photography and worked my way to becoming head of the department. I also played inter-college table tennis, and winning tournaments helped me boost my confidence to the next level. I thought my transformation was complete and permanent. But then came placement season. I realized parts of me still needed development. I didn't do too well in interviews because I would clam up and not express myself effectively. Fortunately, we also had opportunity for doing internships, and I landed at Amazon Chennai as a software developer. I worked hard to give it my all to get a job offer. 5 months later, lo and behold, I rejoined as an employee in July of 2017. And I decided I'd strive to do well, not only at work, but also in other aspects. Other aspects? What am I talking about? I decided to test the extent of how confident I had become and went ahead and asked this guy, Akhilesh, whom I knew and liked for a couple of months, out on a first date. Well, what do you know? He said yes. And he kept saying yes to many such dates with me after that. And even today, we still go out on dates as husband and wife. Finally, coming to this year, I've continued experimenting in the lockdown period. I started 3 blogs, one on finance and investments, one on book summaries, and a casual one. I've also tried to develop my culinary abilities and tried my hand at baking. I also got some time to introspect and figure out what truly makes me happy. One of the major milestones for me this year was obviously joining Toastmasters. It was something I had been putting off time and again because the shy girl in me kept saying I couldn't do it. There was no way I'd be able to give a speech in front of so many people staring at me. Boy, I'm just glad I could prove the old me wrong, and so wrong. I'm happy to have finally broken the ice, not just for my Toastmasters speech, but in life as well, between the new me and every opportunity coming my way. Thank you for listening. Over to you, Toastmaster, today.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Shreya. Next, we have Toastmaster Arumugam to present his icebreaker timer. The timing is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best to Toastmaster Arumugam.
Fourth May 1976. What happened in India? What happened in Tamil Nadu? What happened in Kodambakam? Yes, the hero of the story was born. Who's the hero? Who's the hero? Kakavanda Vadiyaro. Sorry. This is not a movie. I'm not a hero. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm going to share one of the exciting, very interesting story about Chinese bamboo. Once a Chinese bamboo planted, you have to water it and nurture it on a daily basis. First week or first month, there is no any growth. First year, there is no any growth. Second year, no growth. But we have to do our duty. Third year, not at all. And fourth year, no growth. Fifth year, first week, the Chinese bamboo will grow slightly higher. Second week, it will grow further. Third week, it will go further. And fourth week, Chinese bamboo has grown 100 feet height. That is equivalent 10-story building. That story is related to me. Yes, the hero of the story, me, Arumugam. I came from poor family background. My father is a small businessman. My mother, housewife. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister. I have studied one of the leading school teenager, Ramakrishna Mission Higher Secondary School. I have studied up to 12th standard in same school. I have studied in Tamil medium. I don't know English except ABCD. But I have successfully completed my schooling for 82%. After completing my schooling, I've applied one of the top college in Chennai. Any idea which college I'm talking about? Yes, it's a Loyola College. You all agree how tough getting admission Loyola College? Have experience. Once I applied in a BSc chemistry, I thought I can get the seat. But real scenario, no. Then I started using my follow-up skills, marketing skills in 93 itself. I started visiting to the college, met security, vice principal on a daily basis. Before getting admission, my name, my face are familiar. Even my vice principal, every day morning I was standing in front of vice principal, putting a too much torture to get the admission. Once I got the admission, I thought maybe something I achieved in my life. Yes, like how the A.R. Rahman replied when he got Oscar award. Everything is a God. Ella pugalum irevanike. The same I also thought, and I replied to my friend, God is great. I got it something. Then real innings have started. Next day, first class, BSc chemistry, organic class. My professor George, think Vasul Raja MBBS movie, Kamala Hassan classroom scene. The same thing, instead of Kamala Hassan face, think my face. Instead of Prakash Raj, think my professor George. That introduction, all my class friends came from different schools, different states, even a different country. That introduction level, different level. But I came from Ramakrishna Mission Higher Secondary School. Then introduction, everybody started. I was start practicing like our icebreaker speech. My name is Arumugam. My father name is Narayana Sami. Mother name Ranganagi. Studied Ramakrishna Higher School. This practicing. My turn came. I introduced myself. But my professor George, like our evaluator, he easily said, Arumugam, are you studying Tamil medium? Yes. Then that moment, I changed my life. That my entire 3 years of college, I was more familiar. And third year, I was studying cultural for entire level of college. And after my name, face familiar in the college, I thought I can get the job of monthly 50,000 rupees. But real scenario, nobody is invited with red carpet. First, 5 companies utter flop, like 0-day release. And 6th company has given a medical rep job. I started as a medical rep, like ECG, ups and down. Finally, I settled in one private sector bank. Now I am standing in front of you as a banker. Are you enjoying this movie? Wow. And there is a very important character I missed out. Yes. Which character is very important movie? Any movie is a heroine. Yes. My heroine, Revati. I got married in 98. I have 2 daughters, Arundhati, Archita. If I'm not introduced now, I will never get a coffee today evening. Over to T.M. Moody.
Thank you, Tosma Sarvagam. That was a fantastic speech. Thank you to all the speakers. I really loved your speeches, and I really hope the audience too liked it. Now let us move on to the table topic session. It's going to be an extremely short one. So first, let me call Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas to speak on a topic. Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Yeah. Hello, ma'am. So your topic would be, what is the one thing you would miss after the lockdown is over? What is the one thing you would miss after a lockdown is over?
Hello, Toastmasters and my dear guests. What will I miss? I will miss absolutely nothing, and that's going to be my biggest miss. I wake up with a smile. I'm not going to miss that because I will continue doing it. Lockdown gave me a lot of things, which I'm going to plan. I've planned and I'm going to be continuing that. Lockdown gave me a purpose in life. It revealed so much that was all embedded and put away. So what am I going to miss? Definitely nothing. I'll have to make sure that everything I have in me is taken further and nourished and nurtured. Lockdown has been one period for most of us, and definitely for me. I felt like every morning was like somebody had spiked my orange juice. I woke up with a smile, not that I did not smile before, but this was something which gave a purpose. So when I'm saying that, I'm sure you know, we are very clear about what the heart desires. Magically, it comes to us. It's up to me, and I know I will miss nothing because I'll keep kissing everything through. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Next, I would like to call guest Bindu to speak on a topic. Guest Bindu.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. So your
Hello.
topic, yeah, hello, ma'am. Your topic would be, given a choice, would you rather stay home or go back to outside?
Given a chance, I would really go out. Why? Because the opportunities and the information that one would gather from outside is more than one could get from inside. This is basically because I'm an introvert and I had many a times looked inside me and found that the knowledge about myself I could gather at any moment of the day, no matter day or night. But being a girl, when the morning comes, it is time for me to look out into the nature and study even the small little things that give us knowledge and information. And we need to learn from each and every aspect of nature, not only in nature, but we can also interact with other people and learn about them. Their behavior teaches us a lot, whether some attributes are positive or negative, that we will be able to judge only when we interact with them. So that opportunity comes only when we look at them, talk to them, and interact with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, guest Bindu. Next, I would like to call our area director, Toastmaster Vaishali. Toastmaster Vaishali, are you here?
Yeah, Nandita. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. So your topic would be, the year 2020 has been quite a challenge for all of us. In spite of all these challenges, what are the happiest moments you faced during this period?
The happiest moments I faced during this period would be I've saved a lot of time in travel because I take four modes of transports to reach my office. So first a share auto, then the local train, then a metro train, and then the office shuttle. So all my limbs have relaxed so much. So all the knee pains, the neck pain, and everything has subsided in this period. So that is the most happiest moment. For the past 3 months, I'm not into any physiotherapies, which I was taking it earlier. So I think that's pretty much about it. So that's the most happiest moment I've created in this lockdown.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishali. With this, let us conclude the table topic session and move on to the next interesting, fun session, which is the debate. To conduct this debate, we have a moderator who is the present VPPR of Chennai Toastmasters Club and was a part of the division humors and evaluation contest, and he was one amongst the contestants over there. So let me give the control to Toastmaster Sasikumar to take care of the debate. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests, and I warmly welcome all of you for this upcoming wonderful debate session lined up. And I am going to be your moderator. Well, I think someone of you must be asking, what a moderator is doing in a debate, right? I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, all these 15 years after marriage, in n number of debates between me and my wife, had only one result. I lost, she won. There was no moderator who can put my views in the right interpretation to my wife. And many times, the moment I start speaking on my side, I get a red card threw tomatoes from my wife. And many of the debate ended with first one word uttered. So now you must be knowing the reason or significance of having a moderator for a debate session, right? So let's move on to the debate session. And the topic for today's debate session is very interesting and very relevant to the current scenario, which is work from home should be the way forward. We all know after March what has happened, right? People were calling it as death of office. Many offices were shut down for months and people are into a new working style called work from home. So what is that is all about? Is that going to be sustainable? And we have two teams here today to debate about that. And the first team, and they named themselves as Walkie-Talkie Trio. And the reason for Walkie-Talkie Trio is in this social distancing, we all contacting through walkie-talkie or phone. So that makes a lot of sense to that name, isn't it? And this team is led by Toastmaster Shruti, and she has two more members, Toastmaster Pal Bhaskaran and Toastmaster Kannadasan, who are going to talk about, yes, work from home is going to the way forward. In the other hand, we have another team called Three Musketeers. The name itself gives that war feeling, isn't it? And this team is going to be led by Toastmaster Gopal, and in his team, he has Toastmaster Periyanasamy and Toastmaster Ashir to build upon the points from their side. Now, let me explain the flow and timing in a brief way. Each member from both groups will get a chance to speak in a freezed order. There will be two rounds, so each speaker gets two chances to speak. First round is called Express to Excel. In this round, the speaker has to present only their viewpoints. Please don't tackle the other group's view in the first round. And the time allotted for this round is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, you will be shown green card, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, yellow card, and 3 minutes, red card. As soon as red card is shown, please wind up your speech. The second round is called Rebuttal and Redeem, right? This is a round where you can actually challenge the other group's view. And the time allocated for this round is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, green card will be shown, 1 minute, 30 seconds, yellow card, and 2 minutes, red card will be shown. Finally, the team captains will get a chance to speak for a minute so they can come and summarize their team's view before we go for a conclusion. Excited? So let's move on to the debate. Fine. Now let's move on to the first round called Express to Excel. And I would like to call the speaker from Walkie-Talkie Trio, who is going to say yes for working from home. And this speaker is a manager at Dwaraka Engineering. She is someone who will put her hard work to achieve whatever she wants. About the theme resurgence, she said a very apt word to define the upliftment of people after COVID. So please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Shruti onto the screen. Toastmaster Shruti, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasikumar. Work from home is the way forward, and that is an absolute yes, because the kind of advantages that work from home gives us. To firstly start with the kind of flexibility it offers. Most of us here would have definitely had this scenario where we have worked from home, but at the same time have found the opportunity to accommodate other small errands, at least in case of emergencies. So whenever you want to take a break, you can go ahead and come back. In case you want to take a longer break where you have to really run for an errand, which is very emergency or very serious, you can definitely go attend that. And to compensate that, you can always work extra half an hour even after 5 o'clock after the day ends. Such is the kind of flexibility that we all have in work from home option. Also, flexibility in terms of customizing your environment. The chair that you get seated with the table, the kind of arrangements you've got it all around, everything really matters. For all that drives you to work efficiently. Because let's just think of this. In your office, if you're not feeling comfortable in the given chair, you definitely can't complain about it. All the max that you could do is maybe adjust its height or the backrest position, the angle, whatsoever. But You cannot definitely make it apt and 100% comfortable for you. But in home, you've got it all in your hands. You are the king. You can design your comfort. And with that, in any posture that you want, you can work efficiently. Second major point is travel time. I used to travel for at least 3 hours per day. Morning, 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes, and in the evening, minimum of 1.5 hours. And given now the season of rainy times, it is definitely more difficult. It takes even 4 hours to travel. And also, as the area director said, for some people, they have to switch from vehicle to vehicle or public transport. Commuting is a very serious issue, and that is totally ignored in work from home. So that time we can efficiently spend for doing any other job or for even spending quality time with your family. Third is, let's not just think from employee side, from employer side. If we think about it, we are definitely going to save a lot of money because of you don't have to really spend a lot on electricity, and then there comes canteen, then travel, arranging buses for your employees, and also other utilities like water and everything. So there's going to be a lot of saving in terms of money. So to summarize, time saving, money saving, and the abundance amount of flexibility that work from home has provided us. And I'm sure you're all going to definitely agree with me. And I will now pass over this screen to the next speaker or to the moderator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Shruti. Wow, I never imagined a chair can matter most. And flexibility, guys, don't forget about flexibility, right? You cannot go and complain to your employer about your chair, but you can do it in house. And savings. I think Shruti must be having very good bank balance now in work from home scenario, right? Let us move on to the next speaker from the next group, which is Three Musketeers, and that is going to be. She is a BSc graduate, a homemaker, a very broad-minded person. On the theme resurgence, she feels it was a version 1 before joining Toastmasters. After joining Toastmasters, she is finding herself version 2. I don't know whether version 1 is going to talk or version 2 is going to talk, but I'm sure a best version of this person is going to debate now. And please join me to welcome Toastmaster Ashir from Three Musketeers to talk. No, this is not going to last, and I'm going to talk against to work from home. Toastmaster Ashir, over to you.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to ask you a question. For about 6-7 months now, we've been having online Toastmaster meetings. Do you want to continue with these meetings for the rest of your life? No. Whoever I have talked to, whichever Toastmaster I talked to has said that they meet the fellow Toastmasters and talk to them. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is man is a social being and we want to interact with other people. Sitting in front of screens all day long and working will make us socially isolated. Do you know that social isolation causes stress, which leads to cognitive decline? Therefore, this work from home is something that we have done without any choice due to the pandemic. However, it is not conducive to regular normal life. So the number one reason why work from home is not good is that we don't have adequate social contact. When we go to our workplace, we see other people there and we interact with them, and that makes us feel good. It fulfills our most basic human need of social interaction. Number two is that if there are new employees who join to the company, and nowadays meetings are held online and they join in, there will not be any team bonding if you keep on working from home. Online, how can you mix with people? You can only mix with them if you go to your workplace and meet them there. Number three is a lot of people's sleep patterns are getting disturbed because of work from home, because what they say is that we don't get tired. Normally we used to travel, go to work, there you sit around and do work, then come back home, you used to get tired, you used to get a good night's sleep. You sleep by 10 or 11. Now, a lot of people who work from home, they say we don't get sleep till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the night. That is very, very dangerous. I know a person who got married and she was pregnant, and at that time her driver slept for a minute. They had a car accident, and now for 17 years she's in a wheelchair, all because that man didn't have proper sleep. And the fourth point that I want to say is work from home is something that a lot of women especially have been affected negatively by. A lot of women say that earlier, we used to go to work, we used to talk with our friends, and we just had to work. But now when we're at home, we have to take care of our children, take care of our husband, plus do our office work, plus do housework. So it's very, very difficult. It's not an ideal thing to do. And therefore, I'm against work from home. I think we should work from office. That is the best thing for all times. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ashir. Human beings are designed to move along with the society. What are you guys doing sitting in front of a screen? You're talking to a screen, right? And sleep pattern is getting affected. I'm really worried now. I don't know how many hours I am sleeping a day. That's a very good point from your end, Toastmaster Ashir. Next, let us move on to the next group, next speaker from walkie-talkie trio, and we have a freelancer always trying to adopt new ideas, which is to be made very unique. And a resurgence, he told, he don't want to see a resurgence of COVID. I can hear your concern, speaker, and please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran to say yes to work from home. Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, the screen is all yours. You are on mute, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran.
Yes, my dear friends.
Yes.
Work from home should be the way forward, and we can make it sustainable. Have we not been successful so far? Corporates are functioning, the colleges are functioning, work from home, everything, even be it teacher, professor, whoever it is, everything is taking place as planned. That because of the change, of course, which is unpredictable, unavoidable, and we change, you have to embrace the change. That is what the people say, the wise people say. I would justify my points like, see, we say 24/7, 24/7 in the corporate. You cannot say 24/7 in the office, whereas you can work only 8 to 10 hours, but people are too much extracted in the corporate environment. When you are sitting there, that's it. Your whole life is gone. Uninterrupted productivity. That's what is my point, first point. By working from home, you have the conducive environment, quiet, uninterrupted. You can focus on, the focus is very, very essential. You can set yourself for the cycles. Unlike at the office, there are numerous distractions. Spending time at the food court, chit chat, gossiping, and activities that can disrupt the flow of the work. You will all agree with me. Whereas work from home, again I repeat, it creates a conducive environment for you to focus, for you to plan, for you to set the goal, and for you to achieve not only your goal, but the company's goal. That is my first point. The second point being work-life balance. Work-life balance, my dear friends. If you are in the workplace for 16 hours, you cannot maintain the work-life balance. More time with your loved ones, with your family. Even if an employee is isolated in their home office, fine. Knowing their spouse or child is nearby, that creates a loving environment. That can be a calming force. Stress buster. Your family is with you, the stress buster. For employees whose hours in the office require more time to be around. So these two. And number three is cost saving. For example, my son-in-law and my daughter, they are working from home. They have not spent, my dear friends, on vehicle, petrol, vehicle maintenance, frequent repairs. My dear friends, money saved is money earned. So considering all these things, I would prefer working from home should be the way forward. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran. Change is inevitable. Try to embrace the change. What a golden words. You can work 24/7 at home, but you cannot do it in office, as home gives you a conducive environment. Fantastic. And you brought up very important stuff on work-life balance. I heard it as work-wife balance suddenly, but it was so apt. You really get a chance to balance whatever the thing you have in hand. And fantastically delivered, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran. And we will move on to the next speaker from Three Musketeers. And this speaker is an IT consultant who strives to add value to his clients and people around him. A Toastmaster for 5 years, and Resurgence, the name itself gives him positive vibes despite the fall brought by COVID-19. Please join me welcoming Toastmaster Periyanasamy from Three Musketeers to talk. No, work from is not going to be the way forward. Over to you, Toastmaster Periyanasamy.
There lived a mighty king. As a king, he had all the right, power. There is no objection to what he says. He can do anything he wants. Still, he had a darbar set up in his palace to hear to cases and to rule his kingdom. Why he had a separate darbar? I was working in a company where I was given a separate office in the corporate building, where in my office room I had server at one side, desktop in front of me, and my personal laptop on the right, and another PC and laptops in front of the table, which I used to support. I had a hotline to attend to, intercom phone and mobile phone. Additionally, I use monitor the router signals, satellite links, and I felt like a king when I was working in my office. But at home, I have to squeeze to get my laptop placed and to work for my office. Is it the one that we are asking for? If you are a lion, you have to be in the jungle. Only then you will feel like a king. You cannot be in a zoo, then you will be not a king. You will only feel like a zero. At home, I have to do all my chores apart from my house babysitting and etc. Like, there is no room for my freedom. I cannot express myself, and I do not have the feeling to think out of the box to get solutions, which I will get when I used to work in my office hour. And have you heard of any housewives who work because they have to look after their housework, and then they have to go to the office and perform their duties? And for them, the rest time is only the office hours that they used to spend in their office. Because if you are working for a very good employer at a very good office, you will have all the facilities and you will be looked after, and you will have all the recognitions, just like Toastmasters get recognitions in their clubs and in their all the roles that they perform. Only place that you get recognized for your work is only at your workplace. You are the boss there. You are a king there. And you don't get like coffee at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock to your table. At home, you have to make coffee and give to others during your off time. So you are crushed and you are used 24 hours at your home. So it is too much of getting used to. There was this engineer who gets paid 160 USD per hour. And he was so rejoicing and happy that he could save 4 hours every day and 1 hour of extra time preparing to go to office. So 5 hours he saves every day, and he planned that he could earn 800 USD more every day. He was doing like that. And over a period of time, after 1 month, he could not move his head because he got neck, and he could not lift anything because he had palm ache. So there was no time for his personal life. Do you know people make friends during their travel time? Even some people meet with their first crush and later they became their life partner. But being work from home, you cannot have such kind of opportunities, right? People read their books and they update their knowledge when they go traveling to their work. These are all, part and parcel of the game that you have been playing all this time. Now you are put into a isolated home where you call that you are a free bird and you have all the freedom, but it is not. If you are a lion, you have to be in the jungle. If you are working, you have to be in the office. Only then you will be a hero, and don't be a zero. Over to moderator.
Guys, please listen. Only employees can work at home. The king need a darbar, and a lion can rule only in the jungle. You cannot put a lion in work from home scenario. What a point. How the ergonomics being compromised. The way Rihanna Sami was talking about his workplace, I could get a ICU in my mind. The monitor running there, there is something else is here, right side, left side. I can't imagine that. And I could really understand what sort of trouble now is undergoing, squeezing inside a small work from home. Now, moving on to the next speaker from Walkie Talkie Trio to talk about, yes, work from home is going to be the way forward. He's an entrepreneur who has a never give up attitude. And he says resurgence is part of life and everyone should overcome from the current scenario. Please join me to put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Kannadasan. Toastmaster Kannadasan, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasi. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. The title itself says, work from home is going to be the way forward. Of course, it will. My teammates gave beautiful explanation about the work from home and the benefits of it. My dear opponents, still if you are not convinced, my points will help you to realize the beautiful part of the work from home culture. My first point is city traffic will reduce. Everyone in this room knows the real pain of city traffic. If you're stuck in a long traffic jam, your entire day will collapse. Another thing is people sometimes do rash drive to reach the office on time. This sometimes leads to accidents. If we do work from home, people who do not have an opportunity to do work from home and students will commute happily with less traffic. My another point is air pollution will reduce. You know what? Air pollution plays a vital role in damaging environment. Also, it causes many health issues. If we do work from home, we will not use our cars or bikes as much as we used earlier. Definitely, air pollution will reduce. This is one of the biggest thing to the environment. Moderator, I hope you noted all my valuable points. So without hesitation, you can tell work from home is going to be the way forward. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kannadasan. Guys, city traffic is something, like hustle bustle lifestyle. You guys are not getting into the traffic. It is not only limited to traffic. You need to think about, environment, right? You talk about hole in the ozone layer and carbon footprint. All these things are getting better when you work from home and when you don't travel and when you reduce the pollution. I think that was wonderfully built by Toastmaster Kannadasan. And we'll get into our last speaker from Three Musketeers, and that is, he's a dentist, he is a stock market professional who is always adaptable to change. He feels resurgence is not an option, It's a necessity in the current scenario. So please join me to welcome Toastmaster Gopal to talk about no, this is not going to be way forward working from home. Toastmaster Gopal, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, moderator. Now I'll get to the point right away. A human being is called a human being only when he excels in three major areas. One, family life, two, professional life, and three, social life. Now I'll give you some stats rather than giving my opinion. When we speak about family life, the work from home impact, especially after COVID-19, the number of divorce cases and the child custody cases has gone up by twofolds, that is doubled in major cities like Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, you name it. Families are getting broken, and this is not my opinion, this is data. Second thing, professional life. Work from home, we speak about work-life balance, where in the office we used to work only for 8 hours, where right now it is 24 hours. And in the name of working from home, most of the employees are being exploited by their companies, and there is really no family time. Work life is not balanced, and work is taking so much that there is no life left right now. And in terms of efficiency, if I have to conduct a meeting, I would rather do it in person, where I can make the presentation and I convey my points very, very precisely, and the job gets done quickly, rather than taking the phone or sitting in front of screens, trying to explain myself to all my team members over Zoom calls, where they only understand half and react double in the opposite manner, creating more and more tasks and more stress for everybody in the organization. And number three, this is an ecosystem. For example, when you have an IT employee and you have an IT office, you have small tea shops around that neighborhood. You have taxi drivers who benefit by the commute of these employees from their homes to the offices. You have small street vendors. And this is the economy that we're talking about. India is still a developing nation. And because of this work from home, all these small players have now lost their livelihoods. There is no scope for anybody to survive except the rich and elite class. And unfortunately, in a country like India, that is only less than 10%. And 90% of the people are right now struggling because of work from home. We have had job cuts, we have had pay cuts, there has been no hiring, people have not got jobs, children's education has been stuck. And if we are still going to hope that everything's going to magically change post the work from home, I'm really sorry, the data does not show that. We are supposed to be living in a society, and let's get back to normalcy once this COVID ends. Over to you, moderator.
Data speaks, isn't it? Data speaks. See the increase in diverse cases and work-life balance. What is that? It is just a mirage. It was just something kind of a gimmicks from the employer. What about your efficiency? See your ecosystem. What is the tea vendors doing now without you going to office? What is the car driver is doing without you going to office? That was wonderfully built by Toastmaster Gopal, that he says work from home is not going to last ever, and it's spoiling. It has so much of disadvantages. And that brings end to round one. And I think as a moderator, I have a very tough situation now. Let me see what's happening in the second round. And this round is called rebuttal and redeem. So now you have a chance to challenge the viewpoint of other group, and the speaking order is going to be the same. I'm going to call Toastmaster Shruti from Walkie Talkie Trio. Toastmaster Shruti, welcome to round two. Over to you.
Hello, is this audible?
Yeah, it's audible.
Thank you, moderator. So getting back with the points to counterattack what the opposition party has spoken about. First and foremost, or the major thing, is about social life. And as I see, almost all three speakers have covered that point of social life. Yes, it is true that we are in a way that we definitely need social life to survive. But when it is work from home, not like somebody is going to do work from home 24/7, Nor is it like 10 hours straight work from home and then direct to bed, wake up next morning, again work from home, direct to bed. No, the cycle is not going to be a routine of and is not going to get repeated. Rather, what I would say is if I'm going to work from home, or many of us would have worked from home, but after it is 5 p.m. when the work is done, definitely many of us go outside. And I have seen a very few members during the COVID time or the later phase at least come out, have some, take some exercises, do yoga, and build up a much more healthier lifestyle. They interact with the people in the park or in the shops. So all of this is taking place, except for we need to plan the timing accordingly. Second thing was about doing the household chores. Seriously, yes, during work itself, every morning somebody wakes up, does all the chores, and then gets back to work, to office, and then comes back. Here we say the travel time. That time we can use for doing all these chores. Of course, time management is required. And the third point, talking about the data of divorce cases and everything, what I strongly feel is that as human beings, our brain is wired such that we cannot tolerate change easily. We will take some time to adapt to changes. And I believe we need some grit definitely to sustain. And there is some time period for it. And we have to go through that. And because or just by ignoring that, we can't progress further. Hence, to sum up, these are 3 points that I want to really give a counterpoint on. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Let me call upon Toastmaster Ashyat to talk about their team's point.
Well, one of the members from our opposite team, the walkie-talkie team, said that there'll be uninterrupted productivity and it'll be a 24/7 hours. Employees will be available to do work. Sir, 24/7, we have to be available. When do we sleep then? I just don't agree with that. And the second thing the Toastmaster said is that there'll be work-life balance. I'm sorry, there will be no work-life balance when you have work from home. Because normally when you go to office, you leave your work at office and come home and then you can attend to your family. Here, if you're sitting at home and doing work, during work, your family can disturb you. So you won't be able to do full justice to your work. And also what a lot of people have said is that earlier in office, we used to work for, let's say 10 to 12 hours, but now we're working 15 hours. We have to work longer to get the same amount of work done. And the third thing is one of the people who was interviewed were talking about work from home. They said that basically, I mean, for nearly 2 centuries now, ever since the Industrial Revolution came into the world, we have been working at factories. We have not been working at home. So this is unnatural, and I disagree with my opponent team. Work from home should not continue. It will cause a lot of problems and a lot of stress. It's not right. Over to the moderator.
Keep the home separate, keep the office separate. Why are you traveling in 2 boats? That is what Ashyat is telling. And I would be calling the next speaker, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, to build his view. Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, the screen is all yours. You are on mute, sir. You are on mute.
Hi, my time just starts now. Yeah. Good evening to opponent teams. See, a lion is a lion, whether it is in a jungle or in a zoo. If the lion is in a zoo, will you call it a cat? You will not. That is the lion. So the same way, my dear friends, be it home or office, see, your employee is an employee. So he has to bring out the productivity. That is what is the objective. And no room for freedom. If you are going to the office, there is a room for freedom. Does he mean to say that? And personal life, professional life, spiritual life. Where is the personal life and spiritual life when you are in the office all the time, 11 hours? Only your professional life is only enlightened. The personal life is, that's it, vanished. No, there's no spiritual life. Health and fitness, I would talk about it. Health and fitness. When you are in the office for 11 hours or something, definitely you will be ruining your health. So there is a crucial corona time now. We ought to focus on health, my dear friends. Depending on the availability of time, you can plan your time to go for a walk, jog, yoga, and get into the spiritual thing, and to make your body sound and mind healthy. A sound mind in a sound body, that is very, very important. It is only feasible when the work from environment, work from home, if it is way forward, and if it is made sustained. So long as the necessity is there, go for it. Thank you.
A lion is a lion. You put it in office or put it in home. A lion is lion, my dear friends. And that is what Toastmaster Pal Bhaskaran has spoken about. Let me call upon Toastmaster Periyana Swami from Three Musketeers.
Thank you. I would say too much of anything is good for nothing. To add up to that, as I said previously, if you want to work, you have to be at workplace. Only there you can exercise all your thoughts and you will get rejuvenated to bring out the results, and you will have everything to support you. The support system will be there and you will get all the recognitions for your work. And do you follow what is going on in the real time? Already there is no work from home by now, because all the people are stressed and out of it by now, and they have all moved to work near from home because they cannot go and work in their corporate office. They find a place near to their home where their colleagues can join and work in a place near to their home, and that is called work near from home, where they can still enjoy all the facilities that they had as if they go and work in their corporate office. Still they can meet their colleagues, they will have their all the recognitions that they had before, they will have their cafeteria, everything. They can share their ideas with their colleagues and bring out the results that they used to bring at their workplace before. So right now there is no work from home, and it has already been changed to work near from home, and you all just have to take the fact and digest it and go by that. Over to you, moderator.
You guys call it as work from home. Where is home in that? It's fully filled with work. I can't see a home. That is what Periyana Swami was talking about. And to counterattack his view, we are having Toastmaster Kannadasan. Toastmaster Kannadasan, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Shashi, once again for the opportunity. What I understood from my opponent speaker's point is, it completely shows they are trying to escape from their responsibilities and roles. Someone told, if we go to office, we can take some rest. We can escape from the responsibilities. And another thing they pointed is distractions. Baby is distracting, a spouse is distracting. And another point they gave with some data. Again, I just want to share some data. Nobody going to be 100% productive. Even the company is not accepting 100% productive. Company is expecting just 80% of the utilization. And 20% we are simply wasting, wandering to our friend's desk and in the cafeteria. And even in the 80%, we are not going to work effectively, right? So what I'm going to say is, in the work from home, but doing all our works, we can help our spouse, all the day they are running behind our child. So whenever we find some time, we can definitely help her. So work from home is definitely a benefitable thing to each and everyone. Thank you.
What an advantage, isn't it? One hand you can operate your laptop, another hand you can cut the onions. What a benefit work from home offers, my dear friends. You would realize it. And let us call upon Toastmaster Gopal to give his views from his team. Toastmaster Gopal, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, moderator. I just have 3 points. Point number 1, Toastmaster Shruti spoke about having comfortable chairs in her home. Probably she lives in a bungalow, but let me give you some data. The average income of an office goer in India is only 13,000 rupees. And if somebody has a 1 BHK apartment to have his family, himself, his wife and children or parents, he should consider himself as lucky. Where's the space to accommodate all this office furniture, PC, laptop, mobile phone, internet router? I don't know. And how do you call that comfortable? The second point is Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, our very own SPB, spoke about having the comfort knowing that your family, your wife, your daughter, your grandchildren are near you. Now, Toastmaster Paul sir was recently blessed with grandchildren. He knows better how difficult it is handling an infant who is crying as you're taking your Zoom calls, reporting to your manager while you have rice boiling in the cooker. Imagine the plight of the women over there. Let's not just think about ourselves who are sitting all high and comfy. And number 3, Toastmaster Kannadasan spoke about pollution, air pollution being reduced because of less off-your commute. While most of us sit in our AC rooms and speak about air pollution, I hope we all see how funny it is. There are multiple productive ways to reduce air pollution, and let's not use work from home as an excuse for that. And with that, I conclude that work from home by far will not be productive, at least in a country like India, where we still have people who don't have 3 square meals getting to them in a day. Let's not just think about the rich and elite class. Let's think about the majority who are still suffering for their daily bread.
Where is the space, my dear friends? In an 1 BHK apartment, where is the space? He has come all the way outside near to an overbridge and talking for this debate. There is no space. Okay, I think with that speech, we have come to the end of round 2. Now we have one more short round where the captains are allowed to talk for a minute. Shruti, over to you.
Well, by now we would have got an idea of how advantageous work from home is. So I'm here now to put in a nutshell the benefits of work from home. What is the main thing that we have is abundance of flexibility. Then we have the work-life balance. Given that point, we definitely must isolate ourselves, maybe in a separate room or at least towards one corner of the room where we can efficiently work during the work time, and the rest of the time we can spend with family. And based on employees and employers' view, I would say there's going to be a lot of disrupted productivity, especially for introverts who really hate crowd and the people, all the distractions that we have in workplace. We definitely would be more productive in our home. So is on this earth, and definitely we must care for it. So city traffic and pollution is also a concern, and work from home works towards reducing that. In the end, what I want to conclude is definitely we must have time management and self-discipline, without which anything wouldn't work. And in the end, all of us are earning to just have a quality lifestyle. And I strongly believe that work from home gives you the quality lifestyle that you could ever imagine. Over to the moderator.
Thank you very much, Captain Toastmaster Shruti. Let me invite next team captain Toastmaster Gopal for his summary.
Dear moderator and the friends who are friends from the opponent team and also the audience, my appeal is only this. Man is a social animal. Our ancestors were once cavemen who gather around fires, and that is how all the great civilizations grew. This great country grew because people communicated with each other. We had great labor unions. We had a lot of people coming from different parts of the country working together, cultural diversity, and that is why India stands as a special country in the globe. And number two, when we go on this concept of isolation for a long period, we lose the basic human values of compassion, caring for each other, and eventually, in the long run, we will create a society which is devoid of compassion. We will create a society which does not care for the fellow professional or the fellow individual. We will create a society who does not know how to communicate. The very purpose of Toastmasters is to improve communications. We will create very bad communicators by sticking to this model. So my only appeal is, let's stop this. Once this COVID situation settles down, let's hit the roads, let's get back to normalcy, let's meet each other, let's go to each other's home during festivals, let's go to office, let's network, let's fall in love, let's get married, let's do all the fun things that humans are designed to do. Let's be happy. Thank you.
Well. I think that was a wonderful debate. Guys, I'm really confused to know what side I should really incline. But definitely this debate has given me some understanding. When I was going to office, I had those painful mornings, getting up early, having your breakfast quick, and reaching office at the time, to punch your card or put your signature. Those pains are looking like a memorable memories now. I'm longing to go office now. At the same time, in the current scenario, when I'm working from home, I'm definitely having a lot of opportunity to complete my long pending domestic work or spending some quality time with my children or with my spouse. But of course, debates are increasing off late, ladies and gentlemen. That is my issue. Leave it with me. But this debate has given me a lot of insights about work from home and also work from office. I'm not going to give any decision, but I'm going to give a poll to all the audience, whoever listened to this wonderful debate. I request Samyukta, Toastmaster Samyukta, to give a poll on work from home, yes or no. I request all of you to put your Toastmaster Samyukta, if you can share us the result, it would be good. Percentage of people said yes and percentage of people said no.
The results of the poll are 64% people have voted for no. They said no. 64% have voted no, and 36% have voted yes. So that's 14 people to 8.
Right? I think people who have voted no, they will have certain solid reasons from the team view, and people who have voted yes, definitely they must have had some better understanding. And thanks a lot for this democratic way of understanding the views. And before I bring the curtains down, let me have two more polls for having best speaker from both the groups. Toastmaster Samyukta, if you can please vote for best speaker from Walkie Talkie Trio. Can we have the next poll, Toastmaster Samyukta? All right. Thanks a lot for your patience. And that was wonderful being a moderator, listening debate. Over to you, Toastmaster Anandita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasikumar. Wow, I really have to say that was really exciting. I mean, I was shifting between college from home or college in college. So that was how it was going on for me. Now, let us move on to the next session. It is going to be an interview session with one of the famous Toastmasters in our club, which is Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan. So we will be Toastmaster Mithun will be interviewing Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan, and Toastmaster Mithun and Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anandita. Am I audible?
Yes.
A warm greeting to all the Toastmasters present here. It's happy to see everyone for our 600 milestone meeting. Today, for our interview session, we have a seasoned Toastmaster who has won many contests in the area, division, and in the district level, and is also the CEO of Exilon. Without further delay, I'd like to call Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan on the screen.
Hi.
Hi, sir.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir. All good.
Thank you.
So, starting with the first question, you've been the 2014 evaluation champion for the district, 5 times district finalist for humorous and TT contest, 10 times ISC finalist for district contest. I think if I go on reading this, I'll get a green card for this. So tell me, sir, how do you prepare for each and every contest?
Yeah, so like everybody else, I also initially used to think that we need to come up with inspirational stories. I used to go and look for sports personalities, and I used to look at motivational and inspirational strong messages like Sachin Tendulkar and somebody like Thomas Alva Edison. I'm sure many people use Thomas Alva Edison. I don't know how many times he failed before he invented a bulb, but every time I tried to use his name, I actually looked like a bulb, and it was never successful. But eventually what happened, I realized it is important for me to share my experience, what really touched my heart, what kind of a message resonated well with me, and that could probably resonate well with people. And I realized that people want the imperfectionist in me. I don't need to be actually preaching people in giving a speech. So then I thought I should share my experience, and many life experience, whether it was about my mother or my son, or about a gift that I gave during one of the birthday parties. So any event that I picked up and that could connect very well, I was able to take it, and hence I became reasonably successful, I should say.
Okay, great, sir. I've attended some of your workshops on giving humor speeches. Did humor help you to become a better Toastmaster or to become a better speaker? If yes, can you explain how?
See, humor helps you to become a better person, first of all, because when you actually find humor in what you do, then naturally there is a good way of connecting with people, even in personal life, not only at home, even at work or the society. I think humor is a big, big bond that can actually connect people a lot. Of course, in speeches, when you have humor, you definitely score a lot more. And it's not easy. I'm sure many of us will know that humor is not easy, but at the same time, it's a learnable skill. I think if you have that a passion to learn humor, it is not very difficult. You only have to put an effort and you'll be able to connect. And it has really helped me significantly in my journey as such, because I tend to include humor in every role that I do, and that has really helped me connect very well.
Awesome, sir. So my next question is, your experience in the 12th World Conference of Humanity. How was it, sir? A few words.
Yeah, so there were around 200 to 300 plus speakers who were there from all across the world, from different faith, different religion, and different institutions of spirituality. And I was very happy that I could get an opportunity to speak in that forum. And I mean, I basically shared my experience. Again, it is available in YouTube as well. Something on a topic called My Encounter with God, where I basically spoke about how God is available everywhere, but we will not know in what form God will be coming. I spoke about an experience that I had in Bangalore when I was planning to go to a temple. In the midnight, how the temple was opened, and I had an auto rickshaw driver who came in. So I felt that those people who came at that time to help me achieve my whatever was there deep lying within my heart, actually probably God came in that form, and that's what I spoke on, and I really felt happy. And hopefully people also felt happy.
Awesome, sir. So my next question is, how did Toastmaster help you in your career? Has it has it helped you in a specific incident where you are able to give an impromptu speech or like that?
See, Toastmaster, I can actually divide my career into a career before Toastmasters and career after Toastmasters. Whatever hard work I had, I was always rewarded. I had a very steep increase in my career, meteoric rise, I should say. But after Toastmasters came in, there are many things which actually came to my perspective when I was in my professional life. One is we need to actually prepare audience-based communication. It's not that whatever comes to my mind, I can speak. We need to understand the audience, respect the audience, understand what they would like to listen, and then speak. And that's true even in an organization. And then make the speech as brief as possible without dropping the impact, right? So most of our speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So in an organization, if you can actually bring out that kind of a speech in less than 5 to 7 minutes, and then make a huge impact like what otherwise you would have done in 20 to 30 minutes, it really helps a lot. Humor, as I told you, can actually help you. So many things which are there, gives you confidence because you're not a subject matter expert in Toastmasters. So there with your subject matter expertise, if you're able to overcome the fear of communication, it can really help you a lot in growing.
Awesome, sir. So my next question is, you like reading a lot. Can you suggest any 3 books to our Toastmasters and guests present here, which you'd like us to read?
See, actually, I'm not a voracious reader because I trust. I like reading Supandi, right? I'm sure Tinkle is the book which people would know, and in that there is one interesting character called Supandi, and you should read that. It is hilarious. It actually has phenomenal good connect with people. He does a lot of foolish things, and it's a comic, but really has a huge this one. So I like reading such comics a lot, and because it's very small to read. If you read 3 lines, you're finished with 1 page. At the end of the day, you can actually say that you've read 20 pages, and you don't feel like sleeping at all. And when it comes to management, there are quite a lot of books which are there. One book which I liked a lot was Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So that's one great book which is there. And like many others, I also like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. So I can say these 2-3 books, but the best I like is always Supandi.
Thank you, sir. My next question is, you're a senior Toastmaster and a seasoned Toastmaster. When are you going to finish your DTM, sir?
See, to actually get into a DTM journey, I should do some district roles, right? Basically, I have to either become an area director or something like that. Now, all the years ever since I joined Toastmasters, I have been contesting in contests, whether it is, you would have seen my record as you mentioned, whether it is ISC, table topics, evaluation, or humorous speech. So if you get into any district role, you'll have to take a break from contesting. And I don't want to actually break the rhythm of contesting, and that is one reason why I have not moved from the communication track to the leadership track. And once I have to get into the DTM, I want to do it in the most perfect manner. Anyway, there is a huge time ahead of us in life, so probably I'll take time to finish my speaking journey and then get into leadership journey, and thereby do a DTM in style.
Awesome, sir. Another question is, when you won the district evaluation contest in 2014, what was the first thought that came to your mind after winning that?
See, I think the club played an important role. I still remember there were many people who were there around. DTM Rajiv was there, Reena was there, and a few other members I remember very well. They all played an intense role, I should say, in making me bring out as a winner. We have Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria, not only in this club, but he is responsible for whatever I am today, along with Meena Jan Madam. Because those 2 people, in fact, I still remember after 2006, my debacle in Sri Lanka, where I did not even qualify for the final contest. When I was about to quit, saying that, okay, it's not something which I can enjoy speaking. But it was at that time where DTM Abraham Zakaria, who came and spent some time with me and then gave me another opportunity to be part of the first meeting of maybe 600 weeks, if I have to say 600 weeks before Toastmasters DTM Abraham Zakaria actually gave me an opportunity to do a demo speech in the first meeting of Chennai Wordsmiths. So I had to thank those people for helping me do something which is unthinkable, right? I never thought that I will actually go to a district level and will be able to win and all that. But those people who were present at that time, all the other people who had contributed, and many of the club members who always had inspired me every time. So many people, Paul Vaskaran is there, Yuva is there, all those people were actually not miss wishing me anytime I go up to the stage. So I think these are people I had to thank at that time, and that's what I did immediately after it came winning.
Awesome. You have mentioned a quote, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Can you elaborate on that?
See, I am an ardent follower of my Guru Mahatria. He gave something very beautiful for me to follow. He said, success in the big things of life, happiness in the small things of life, faith on one thing, God in everything, and meditation on nothing. So he says, if you can actually follow these, life is always beautiful. So which means while we keep progressing in our life, achieving the big things of success, achieving big successes in career, going up in the ladder of corporate life, but at the same time, don't miss out on the small things at home, maybe with your loved ones, with your friends. So happiness in the small things of life, while you keep thanking for God for everything. Have faith on one thing which you want to try, and then maybe meditate on nothing to get the answer. So if you do all this, then life is beautiful.
Awesome. So the interview has been going smooth for till now. Let's fire it up a bit. So I got some rapid fire questions for you, which you can answer it with 1 or 2 words. So starting with 1 word about Toastmasters.
Transformation.
Your favorite speaker in Toastmasters?
Presyan Vasilev.
Your favorite speech in Toastmasters?
My mother's speech, soft wrinkled hands.
Your favorite speech that you heard in Toastmasters?
Dhananjay's, I see something in it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still feel nervous now?
Yes.
You are a CEO of a company. Why still Toastmasters?
More than I should say, I don't know how to answer this in 1 word, but I think Toastmasters is part of my life. So why let go?
Last question. When is your next speech in Wordsmith?
Soon.
Awesome, sir. Thank you for that great session and coming to our 600th milestone meeting. So back to the moderator, Toastmaster Anandita.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Mithun and Toastmaster Sriranganathan. It was a very good interview session and we had a lot of insights from this. Now let us have a short break before we move on to the panel discussion. So we have 5 minutes for you to refresh and then we'll move on to the next session. Thank you.
What is the snack served?
Good one, sir. We come to a place.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Sridhar, sir.
Hey. Some snacks, isn't it?
I think it
Sorry,
can
sir?
be home delivered.
For us, break means some snacks, isn't it? At least.
Yeah.
Vada.
After a long time, sir.
Your
Sridhar,
voice is
sir.
not audible, Arun.
Yeah. Not
Still,
this,
sir, we are
but I've
expecting
been,
your
I've been
pathways
thinking
journey.
every Saturday somewhere or the other. So since I'm doing education session all across, I'm not able to come to Wordsmith, but definitely I will plan to.
Expecting your pathways journey soon, sir.
He was waiting for Sridhar to say some lies, but he has always, whatever he said is truth. I know from day one.
So I still remember you sitting with me in YMCA in Delhi, sir.
Delhi.
2007.
Yeah.
13 years ago.
Oh,
I've grown old. You still look young, sir.
You have not collected your trophy, isn't it?
I'll collect it after I become the world champion, sir.
Yeah. Actually, for Dhananjay, 125 people came to Malaysia.
Yeah.
So once again, a happy evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. So we are resuming back with our milestone meeting Resurgence 2020. To boost this second session of our Resurgence 2020, we have a very special person, our District Director, District 120, District Director Toastmaster Praveen Mani. I request Toastmaster Praveen Mani to address the members.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you for invitation. You've been very kind in following up with me on a regular basis. Like I said earlier, today the day is filled with milestone meetings. We have milestone meeting going on for Medley Toastmasters, and there's milestone meeting of TCS My Three Titans. So in between, I've been able to get a slot here, and so that I could come and address you all. It is my honor to be here during your milestone celebration, because Wordsmith is not just a club. It is one club which has been pivotal in the past for spreading the brand Toastmasters in Tamil Nadu, and it's still doing it. And I think in the future also it will continue doing the same what it's been doing for years. Toastmasters of Wordsmith have been around the Tamil Nadu fraternity, helping the other clubs to sustain, starting clubs. And even today we have Abraham Zakaria, who been the district parliamentarian, helping the district to function smoothly when it comes to process and regulations. So I've been a great beneficiary of Wordsmith, be it in the past as well as in the present. So I didn't want to miss today's meeting. I have opportunity to interact with your area directors, and we discuss all the challenges and the positives of every club. So when it comes to positives, there are so much positive to talk about small Wordsmith. At the same time, even we discuss the challenges. They say the club membership has gone down from 46 to 30. It's because some of the seniors have taken a break. I said it's totally fine. Seniors supposed to take a break. There's something called retirement age for every human being, and they have to go on a break. And there's nothing to worry about it. If we compare the numbers from 46 to 30, definitely it might look, we have come down. But in Toastmasters world, for anything, even in organization, numbers should kept in the last to even think or to consider. What comes is the quality of the meeting. I think you're doing a phenomenal job when it comes to quality. And when it comes to challenges, do not worry about it, especially when you feel your mentors who you look up to are not there in your club. Don't worry about it. I could only recall, being a cricket fan, I could recall the 2007 T20 World Cup, the inaugural edition of the T20, the famous T20 World Cup. And the seniors of that Indian team decided, let's take a back seat. Let's send the youngsters to go and perform what they want to perform. Let them be free. No need to pressurize them. No need to guide them so much. So the young Indian team went to South Africa, and they had no clue how they're going to perform because seniors were not with them. And a new young Indian captain was positioned, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. The rest is history. We all know what the result of the tournament was. From that point in time, India discovered a true leader in us. We saw Mahendra Singh Dhoni carrying the baton till now. I mean, of course, now he's retired from the ODI format, but he was the one who even got us the pivotal or the most coveted title, that is the World Cup of the International Men World Cup. It was only because when the youngsters, the young Indian team decided, let's go and prove ourselves. So they never saw that as a challenge where they don't have the likes of Sachin, Dravid, Ganguly to support or back them up. And they discovered their own potential only when there was not enough people to guide them. Likewise, in Toastmasters, whenever you are thrown into an ocean of challenges, it's an opportunity for each one of us here. The moment you see a challenge, consider that as an opportunity, because that is when you can actually prove yourself. You can discover your own leadership. When everybody is around you, you will not see that. In fact, traditionally in Indian culture, parents do the same thing with the children. They never try to be with the children till the end. At one point in time, they just let go of the children to be independent, look after their own self, look after their own family. And that is when the seniors, they come and cherish the moment. Today in this milestone meeting, I'm seeing Abraham Zakar, many senior Toastmasters, probably they're just enjoying how you youngsters and who young members, how you're taking the club forward. So never worry about the challenges ahead of you. If you come across challenges, I think you are in the right direction. Only when challenges come, you discover your leadership skill. We talk about the likes of Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Nelson Mandela. Imagine challenges were not that much in their era. We wouldn't be referring to them today's world. Today's world, we don't come across Gandhiji, Bhagat Singh, Nelson Mandela, because those challenges which used to be there in the earlier days are not here today. So challenges change, and also it gets reduced. So only when you have enough challenges, you prove yourself. I think Wordsmith have that right environment today to prove yourself. Don't worry about the numbers, where you start, where you are now. Focus on the quality club meetings. That is more than enough to provide good member experience. And from here on, we can go to great heights. In fact, our founder, the great visionary leader, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley says, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. That is the most important thing to do in Toastmasters. You have to enjoy yourself. You would have heard our Sridhar sir speaking, perhaps Zach sir talking about how they enjoy Toastmaster. That's the true essence of being a Toastmaster. Enjoy your Toastmasters journey. District is here to guide every one of you over here. Don't worry about challenges. We will travel in this journey for years to come. So let's enjoy this journey. Let's again celebrate more such milestone occasions in the future. I'll be there with you again to prove your point. What meant as a challenge earlier is no more a challenge to you all, that you have crossed this hurdles so safely. So with that note, I wish you all a great success. The most important thing to do in this pandemic is not even Toastmaster. Look after yourself, look after your family, your health, your career. Toastmaster is not a fourth priority. Let's enjoy this Toastmaster journey and continue to sail together in this journey. Thank you so much, Abhishek, once again for giving me this opportunity to address members of Wordsmith. Always been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Praveen. So just to reiterate what you said, these youngsters are being guided by our senior members or senior Toastmasters of Wordsmiths. So that is the reason Wordsmith always excels in whatever it does. I'll take this minute to recognize our District 120 Director, Toastmaster Praveen Mani, our District 120 Parliamentarian, DTM Abraham Zakaria, again our District 120 Chief Judge, DTM Reena, so it's one more, and our Area Director, Toastmaster Vaishali. So to get us through the next segments of our meeting, I give the control back to our MC, Toastmaster Aravind. Toastmaster Aravind, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is Aravind Annamlai, and I'll guide you through the rest of the meeting. Next up, we have a panel discussion having an international flavor on the topic Toastmasters, then, now, and the future. This panel discussion will be moderated by Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas from our Chennai Wordsmiths Toastmasters Club. She is a social entrepreneur and an independent training consultant with over 30 years of experience. She is one of the past presidents of our club as well. In the interest of time, let me introduce the panelists as well. The first panelist is Toastmaster Victor Mendoza, who is a member of Ibero Puebla Toastmasters Club and Talk It Easy Toastmasters Club. He is a Toastmaster of 15 years of experience. The second panelist is Toastmaster Anthony Hogan from Mexican English Toastmasters Club. He is another experienced Toastmaster who is a speaker, trainer, and a coach by profession. On the Toastmasters front, he is a district champion in table topics and evaluation and a district finalist in International Speech Contest and Tall Tales Contest. The third panelist is my very own mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Reena from Chennai Wordsmiths Toastmasters Club. She is a strategic HR consultant. She had won the Best Division Director of the Best District of Toastmasters during her tenure. The fourth and final panelist is Toastmaster Claudia from Premier Speakers Club, Mexico. She is a Toastmaster with over 13 years of experience, and she is currently the president of her club. On this note, let me hand over the control to the moderator, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, to take this panel discussion forward.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
It's a wonderful evening. 600 sessions. That calls for a round of applause. And that's 3 cheers to Wordsmith. Like what our previous Toastmaster Praveen Mani just mentioned, learning best happens in moments of happiness. And I'm going to take forward this awesome afternoon or the evening, as I may call it, with the most distinguished in other terms are three of, for one in-house and three from across the ocean. Welcome to Toastmasters, Victor, Toastmaster Anthony, Toastmaster Rena, and Toastmaster Claudia. We are really excited having you over with us on this grand occasion, I should say, because how many of us can see 600 go through? Okay. Now, without wasting too much of a time, I would like to thank you for giving me moments of this morning during a sleep time to quickly talk to me. And I come here with all due respect to all senior members. And I've had the pleasure of discussing few important points that we can probably talk here. The format for this evening will be, which I've discussed with several, let's make it more like a fireside chat. We're not going to make it so strict because it's a day to celebrate, a celebration for the wordsmith. I have seen a couple of you, I think Toastmaster Victor with the earlier program when we were here, and we enjoyed it. Powerful people on the panel. Everybody is going to be waiting eagerly to listen to you all. Interestingly, if I have to just start with a quote, there's a wonderful person who said, remember to celebrate milestones as you prepare for the road ahead. That was from the most revered, respectful Nelson Mandela. And I just love that quote. So now let's quickly go ahead. I'm going to just put across few interesting facts to the most, one with a leadership skill, one person who is a complete communications expert. Now, if you turn it around and see, what is very intriguing was when I was talking to Toastmaster Anthony, I looked at it and I said, evolution with an I, and I couldn't stop reading it again. And when I was looking at the other person, it was complete leadership. And here we have our own Toastmaster Rena, like DTM and going places. And when I read it, I said, oh my God, that's so much. But putting all that aside, today you're here to make each one of us here watching enjoy the moment. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, then, now, and the future, Toastmasters. With that, let me quickly ask you if I could start from Toastmaster Claudia, and then we'll move to Toastmaster Anthony, then to Toastmaster Rena, and then to Toastmaster Victor. Tell me two things that keep you at Toastmasters.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. That's the reason that I'm here, is still in Toastmasters for all these 13 years, because we meet everybody, we meet a lot of people, we engaged, we help each other. And the most important thing is we truly do it. We genuinely do it for us. We don't pay anything, you know, everybody knows that. So when somebody says, I'm going to help you, that person really help you no matter what, and is with you. So that's the reason through all these 13 years I've been here. When somebody's telling me, that person is with me. When I say I'm going to help you, is because I truly want to help you. And that's one of the reasons.
Okay. Maybe just go on to Toastmaster Anthony, please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today and share my just 2 cents, as we like to say in America. Well, actually, your last speaker is one of my 2 reasons. As you said, the name of my company is Evolution. It's I plus evolution. So evolution is when the society and when the environment determines how you grow. Evolution is when you choose how you want to grow. And what Toastmasters has given me is ultimate evolution. And one of the first reasons you can see in my good friend, Claudia Rosillo, because when I first moved from San Francisco to Mexico, I joined this club that I found on meetup.com, and it was called Mexican English Toastmasters Club. Why? Because my Spanish sucked, and I wanted to be able to participate. And it just so happened that Claudia was the president of Mexican English Toastmasters Club. So my first reason for being in Toastmasters still after 11 years is meeting phenomenal people. As the old saying goes, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And Toastmasters has given me mentors. It's given me clients for my business. It's given me great friends. Even the woman that I was dating for 3.5 years in Mexico, I met at Toastmasters. And you know why we met? Claudia remembers this. She gave a speech, and one of the members was German. And the best thing I can say is she gave a very German evaluation, which was really harsh. So I was like, no. Hey, Ileana, next week when you come, let me give you a real evaluation of how you did. So first of all, it's the awesome people that you meet. The second reason, and this is something that I made different than many Toastmasters. You join Toastmasters to improve yourself. First and foremost, you pay to grow. That's why you're here. Now, there's a lot of side benefits, friends and contests and, getting a chance to travel, or whenever I go to another country, I find a Toastmasters club to visit. But the main reason I'm here is to grow personally and professionally. And even though, and I get this question many times, but you're a professional speaker, trainer, coach, why are you in Toastmasters? And I say, no, you need to reverse that. Because I'm a professional speaker, trainer, coach. That's why I'm still in Toastmasters. Because every single week, multiple times a week, now in different countries, I get a chance to sharpen the sword, okay? That's why I'm Toastmasters, because I pay to grow, and every time I'm here, I become a better person, a better man, a better professional.
Thank you very much. You came prepared with the little sword to see that you're sharpening it too. Thank you. Toastmaster Reena, please.
Good evening. Congratulations, wordsmiths. And I'm really so happy to be part of this panel. And here I'm going to third Toastmaster Claudia and Toastmaster Anthony, because I think this is one of the most beautiful humane forum. This is the forum which has given me so many friends and mentors. There's just no barrier here, be it professionally, someone would be at such their peak of their professional life. However, when it comes to Toastmasters, we are just friends. This is that human forum that I've found. I thank my mentors, mentees, all the members over here. And let me tell you, friends, this is just not about the social or the public speaking skills that we are talking about. During one of the or few of the most toughest times of my life, where even I thought of quitting, it was there was thoughts of even quitting Toastmasters. That is when I found so many seniors coming out there. They not only kept me going here, but they brought me out of those tough times. Emotionally being with people is so essential. I found out from that, and this is the most humane forum that I have found in my entire life. So that is the major or the first aspect. And the second aspect, I'm always amazed how this organization runs on passion and compassion of fellow beings. If it is come 96 years, or it's going to be a century that Toastmasters have existed, and it has grown so much, it is because of reasons that voluntary servant leadership exists here. And I'm always amazed how sweetly people take up these roles. There's no monetary benefit out of it, but what we benefit out of this is unexplainable. It's so beautiful. We need to experience that. So passion and compassion is definitely the second thing that I've seen, and I can keep going on, but over to you, Toastmaster Jyoti.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we come to the bright smiling leader over here, Toastmaster Victor.
Thanks. I feel like home being with you guys again. I feel very stuck about being here. I'm very happy because you are a club that has changed my life, because you were the first club that I joined another virtual meeting, which was an international meeting. So every time I hear about Chennai on the news, on newspapers, on my Facebook, it's like Chennai. I have a very special moment of being here with you. It was the first time that I joined international meeting, virtual international meeting, and you changed my life. You know, during these difficult times, lockdown, every time I join you, I feel so happy being here. And to the question, I'm here in Toastmaster because no matter what you say, no matter you said a mistake, a joke, or not anything, people will applaud you. You know, after you deliver a speech, even it's the best speech you ever told, or oh my God, I don't know how I say that in table topics, people will applaud you. And that's motivational because they encourage you. And I miss a lot to receive presential face-to-face warm applause. That's the thing that I most miss from Toastmasters. You know, to feel the energy. And that one, the reason I joined Toastmaster, because no matter if you didn't say a well speech, or every people is there to encourage you. And the second reason, I agree with one of the panelists. During my toughest times, when I felt so bad, when I lost everything, when I was about to quit everything, I don't know why, but I've always received a call from a Toastmaster member or friend that told me, hey, join the meeting. What's going on with your life? And those calls really lift me up because somebody cares about you. You know, somebody wants to be with you. Perhaps they don't want to hear you because they don't like the way you speak or something, but they want you to be there. And an important word that I want to sum up here is support and presence. Toastmasters has given me those words in my life: support and presence, being there, being in the moment, enjoying every second of every word you hear and every feeling you felt where you're delivering the speech. That's why I'm in Toastmasters.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. If you really see, it's like, yeah, that's a lovely one. We learned it last time like that. It's almost like the pearls being strung by the string. If you turn around and see, each one of you are resonating the value of you being at Toastmasters. Very clearly stated. The I, like Toastmaster Anthony said, the compassion, awesome, being there, somebody waiting for you to push you through, the love, the support that the four of you said. It almost looked like being at church and asking for the wedding vows. Be with you in sickness and health till death do us part. So that's brilliant. With something as strong as that, I'm going to ask something very interesting, but I'm going to throw it open to any one of the four of you and feel comfortable to say what you feel. This has to be a forum where all of us who are listening to you and to the others who will probably be watching from wherever is to have the grounding, the love, and the natural thought that you have from deep within without any pretense. Now, quickly, if I have to move on to the next interesting part, I'm going to ask is, because I'm going to take the best part now. We're not going to save the best for the last, because you never know how the time can run by. There is a story, and Toastmasters excel in weaving a story, and I don't have to be one because all of you are professionals in that. There has to be interesting story, I'm sure, with few of you who can say from the Toastmasters, then your first few days when you joined Toastmasters. May I probably ask Toastmaster Anthony to go with and give us something interesting, which I've been trying to control and not talk about it to my team here. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, when I moved from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco, it was post-divorce, post-depression, change of life. I went from the East Coast to the West Coast, or as I like to say, the least coast to the best coast. And when I moved to San Francisco, I knew that I wanted to take my natural skill and become a professional speaker, trainer, coach. And I remember going, yeah, my mom was in this organization way back in the 70s. What the heck was the name of that organization? And so I called my mom and I said, hey, mom, what's that organization you joined that help you, speaking and stuff? And she said, Toastmistress. Now notice, not Toastmasters, Toastmistress. See, many Toastmasters don't know that because it started at the YMCA, and because like most countries in the world, the United States was a sexist, male-controlled country, women were not allowed to be in Toastmasters. So I went online. My first search of Toastmasters was for the word Toastmistress. And I type in Toastmistress and Toastmasters pops up. And I'm like, oh, okay, got to be the same thing, mistress, masters, just different words. And that's how I found Toastmasters, because my mother was in Toastmistress. And it was really interesting because she was a single Black female, early 70s, not a lot of stuff, a lot of people will accept you and allow you to grow and do things, yet Toastmistress was one of those. So I came to Toastmasters from Toastmistress. Then later on, I found out the story of Helen Blanchard. I don't know if you all know Helen Blanchard. She was the first female president of Toastmasters, but her story was even more incredible than mine. When Helen Blanchard wanted to join Toastmasters, she was like a genius. She graduated at 15. She became a teacher at 16. She wanted to join the Toastmasters Club. So there's a local club in California where Toastmasters that was a Naval Research and Development Club. And they allowed her to join, even though women weren't allowed. So when they put her name in, they put H. Blanchard. And Toastmasters said, no, we need a full name. So they wouldn't allow, Toastmasters wouldn't allow them to put in H. Blanchard. So they put in Homer Blanchard. So for 3 years, the first woman in Toastmasters officially was called Homer Blanchard. And then in 1970, I think it was, finally, after Toastmasters started admitting women, she was able to be known as Helen Blanchard. So not only is my experience based on Toastmistress, but it's really interesting to hear how the first female Toastmaster had to go by a male name for 3 years just to get there. So for me, I am always so happy to see strong, empowered women in Toastmasters. And the reality is I see more in Toastmasters than I do in the private sector. Not only when I was in the US, in the tech field in San Francisco, but also here in Mexico. So kudos to Toastmasters for bringing me and for allowing women to grow in such a way that allowed me as a male to grow.
So very clearly states there is a woman behind every successful man. So you
or there's a man next to every successful woman.
That's very interesting here. Thank you very much. So we are indeed Toastmasters right there. So thank you very much. And I'm sure many of us over here, for me, it's a story which I never thought I didn't know at all. And thank you so much for sharing it, because with this forum, as much as we say panel, is something of a, we do say battle of the brains, whipping of the tongues. And you've given us this awesome icing by giving us such information, which not many of us would know about what is your personal story. Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Now, with that in mind, there has to be something like what he said. My first day, then and now. So while you are addressing our awesome wordsmiths here and the other Toastmasters attending, just bear in mind, then, today, and the future, Toastmasters, is there a story that you have to tell when you started? And let's keep it really going. It started off with a great energy, and I'm sure all of them are enjoying it. Would Toastmaster Reena like to add something to it? Is there something that you would like to say, how it started off for you, Toastmaster Reena?
Thank you. I remember the first time I went for a Toastmasters meeting. It was way back in 2009. I got really scared. I spoke. I won't say that I am an introvert or something like that. I was the head HR of an organization, so speaking in public wasn't too much of an issue. But the moment I got into it, there is some kind of a structure, and the first person who spoke on that day was the sergeant at arms. I just could not get the head or tail of what that meant. I was thinking, is this some kind of a military kind of something happening over there? And you won't believe 2009 then, and the next time I stepped into another Toastmasters meeting was in 2012. Can you believe that? It took 3 years for me. I was so scared. I would like to thank DTM Lalita Giridhar for not leaving me. And she said, I want you to join this forum, whatsoever happens. And here I have found a club which I know you will love. And it is very close to your house. And that's the club. I came there. It was in Towers Club in a place called Ananagar. She took me to the basement. The first thing is I'm going into a basement. And suddenly the door opens. It was around 3:50 or 3:55 p.m. The door opens and there are around 6 or 7 gentlemen who comes over there, and Lalita says, "This is Arena." And that's it. I find this gentleman come over there, shake their hands, and shaking hands are not too normal that all the men came over there shaking hands and welcome as if they know me already. And that was the day when I felt like a superstar. And from then till now, for me, wordsmiths is equivalent to warmth. And let me tell you, let me assure you, this family called wordsmiths, from then till now, for me, is warmth. And you will feel the warmth whenever you're interacting with our wordsmiths. I think this is something very memorable for me. And thank you to DTM Lalita for introducing me to my beloved wordsmiths. Thank you.
Thank you. There's so much of love in the air. So I'm not going to continue with this, but we're going to remember all that all of you have said, the way you've gotten into it and why you're part of Toastmasters and your first day. I'm just looking at the timer. I would request the timer to just make sure that they want in me too. You know, something very interesting while I was talking about what do you think our panel discussion should be? I believe a panel discussion is about comfortably asking you questions or getting clarification to so many things. Now there's a new normal, the new tomorrow, the new today. We have so many Gen Y. And that's a very close thing to my heart because in training, I always think, you know, today's youth make the future. They are truly, I don't know, the warriors out there, and I just love it. So I have a question. Do you think the Gen Y and X issue, in terms of are the experienced lot over here at Toastmasters across, I'm talking about universally, prepared to take over and give the baton to the young and to make sure that they are going to be the winning brand and make sure the Toastmasters international names carry on? What is your take on that? Do you think it's possible? I'm going to ask Claudia and Victor to think about it and give me your thoughts on it, please. The youth for tomorrow.
I believe the youth are taking Toastmasters very seriously. Probably we said, oh my God, they are young people, they don't know, or they just want to play. No, they are taking seriously leadership and communication. And why I'm saying that because I can tell you in the 3 clubs that I'm normally in the sessions here in Mexico, mostly 80% or 70% of the members are young, 20, 23, 25, maybe 30 years old. And they are taking risks, they are taking decisions. And you can say, wow, but they are so young. Yes. And we can learn from them for sure. And they learn from us. But that's a mix things, a mix information and mix opportunities for everybody. It's not just for people that they have many years in the organizations, and they also people from 20 years, 18 years, that they are really taking risks. And that's that's the thing that I want to share, because it's for me, it's very important. 2 years ago from now, I can tell you, wow, before we had, I remember 5 years ago, maybe we have 3 or 5 young people. Now, wow, they are getting stronger, they are very empowered. And that's the thing that I like. And of course, I support them.
Uh, Toastmaster Victor, now, do you think it's easy for the senior members to be comfortable in handing it over to the youth to run the entire process? Are we at a position where we can sit back and look at the youth and say, go ahead, because they are the future, because we are looking at the tomorrow, the new normal as of now? Your take on that, please.
Sure. Just a brief intro. When I joined Toastmaster, most of the people were seniors. So we decided, a couple of friends and I, from age to 18 to 25, to charter the first young club in our district. So this was huge because we only accepted membership that was that kind of age. So it was a huge experience. And the best connection and the reason the club grew is because we had the support of senior Toastmasters. Our mentors were senior Toastmasters who said to us that they felt very engaged to our club and they felt that energy because the passion we had at the moment, it was so different from other clubs. Most of the clubs in that time gathered in, in luxury hotels or business salon or meetings or rooms. And it was phenomenal to see them. But in our club, we decided to make the things different. We organized barbecues. We had meetings on other parts of the city, like in big gardens or in public spaces. So that kind of approach, working together with the senior Toastmaster and the young Toastmasters, gave us the most of all because they were there always to offer us guidance, to be our mentors. And it was phenomenal. It was the first time in my life that I understood the power of having a mentor that has more years of experience than you and that they can offer you a different approach about your speeches, about your personal goals. So it was enormous. So I'm really grateful that, for example, in my clubs, there are many senior members and they're setting us the example because even they're dealing with the technology. They have been already enrolled in pathways. They bought a new computer. They trying to find the best camera and they set us an example to the youth too. So I think it's possible to work together because this is the way we can connect best, to have senior members working along with the youngs because we have that power to inspire and support one another.
Thank you very much. And I was waiting to see Toastmaster Rena have a beam because when we were talking, she mentioned this very clearly to say how important mentoring is in the entire process. When we look at it, because of the kind of pressure on time, I'm going to quickly ask something which we have been discussing quite a bit. And I'm going to put the question across, and whoever would like to take it, we'll be more than happy. It's not really a question. Over the years, can you tell me, have the speech preparation techniques for various contestants, say across in different parts, has it really changed? And what would be that one tip that you could leave us with? Look at this, and there you have a bingo point before we come to the end of it. I'm going to request them because we have all these wonderful knowledge base here. It's hard to finish with the red there. And Toastmaster Abhishek, with this, we will give it a wrap. I'm sure that we are going to call you back, gentlemen and ladies. Yes, on to you.
I'll go first
Yes.
just quickly. One of the great things about Toastmasters, one of the things that the young people have brought is this ability to adapt. There has been over the past 10 years that we've seen, Toastmasters has been changing. And it's been changing because the market, because its members have been changing. We went from area governor to area director. Why? Because more corporate clubs were opening. We went from CC and CL, where everybody was on the same track, to 10 different pathways. Why? Because Toastmasters realized that we are all different people and we have all different focuses. Even in terms of the contest, just today, yesterday, I guess, we had the contest for District 34 here, and I helped coach 2 people. So now the way that people prepare is also adapting. So I think the nature of Toastmasters, it's kind of like Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend. If you pour water into a cup, it becomes a cup. If you pour it into a pot, it becomes the pot. We learn to adapt, and Toastmasters adapts. Even here today, in India, I see you clap like this, but you notice that in Mexico, we clap like this. So a few of you started doing the American Sign Language clap. So I think that ability to adapt is something that is built into the new DNA of Toastmasters, and that will affect how we do everything, including how we prepare for contests.
With that, looks like I have to wrap it up. Very interestingly, just to summarize all that we said, it's not enough. This is just the beginning of a beautiful relationship from the Mexican Toastmasters Club to here. What did we gain will be very clearly, it's the love that kept us all together here, the Toastmasters, the nurturing, support, right through, that brought you all here. And very clearly, each one of you spoke about, you are here with the I. And if I can look at Toastmaster Anthony's backdrop, it's very intriguing. And we, okay, he's showing that. We're going to talk about it. And each one of you, Claudia, Arena, to Victor, all of you have this very special point about completely supporting the generation youth and saying the importance of the experienced generation who have to be great mentors in making sure that they would keep the flag of Toastmasters flying high. And to end it all, to see what was different now, the CC to CL, and I come from the CC time. Thank you, Toastmaster Anthony. And I thought, the gray was enough, but definitely the paths that they've given now is a great change. So we have been sort of prepared for the new you. Is that okay? I mean, do you think that's a good change for the current C times, the challenging times? Do you think that what we've done now is good and will keep our flag flying high? That is what I would like you all to say yes. Is that a yes from all of you? Thank you very much. And it's never enough. It's never enough. And with a very heavy heart, I've got to say bye to you all. And I'm so deeply touched. And I am spraying the magic dust because I am the chosen one to be in this magical spot, to have this absolutely brilliant time with the 4 amazing people who've given not food just for this, but for this. So with all our love from Wordsmith, 600th milestone, bingo. Thank you. And that is a big warm from our heart to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Reena, our very own, and to the 3 beautiful people. And can we have all the audience give the Mexican clap, please?
Thank you.
Thank
Bravo.
you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for bringing us 3 new friends. Welcome to Wordsmith.
We would have loved to have some question round from the audience, and there is going to be another time and yet another time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas and the panelists. That was an informative and entertaining panel discussion, and I hope that the audience had enjoyed it thoroughly. We had a lot of contests in the lead up to this milestone meeting. To announce the winners of the contest, let me invite Toastmaster Abhishek to the screen, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravin, and a happy evening once again to my dear Toastmasters and esteemed guest. So as Arvind mentioned, we had totally 3 contests for our milestone meeting, and the first one being a icebreaker contest where we had 10 entries from our members out of which, as you know, Toastmaster Shriya and Toastmaster Armugam won the contest. Can we have a big round of applause, please? Indian style or an American style, both are welcome. Thank you. The next offline contest that we had was, what was the next offline contest that we had from the members, please?
Story writing.
Yes, so it was a story writing contest and we had a very good number of entries for that. And the runner-up for this contest story began like this. Any guesses except for the story writer? Any guesses who the story belongs to? The story writing was about my lockdown story. The runner-up for the contest is Toastmaster Shriya. Congratulations, Toastmaster Shriya. And the winner for the contest is, so I specifically made it X because his or her name was mentioned in that place. So any guesses who the winner is? So the winner is the president of our Chennai Wordsmiths, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. So it was Arun and his fiance. I'll be sharing the stories in our group and as well as in the social media soon. So this is the crux of, or the starting of the story. What is the other contest that we had for our milestone meeting?
Speak up to win.
Yes. So before, let me just a second. And the runner-up for the contest is so again Toastmaster Arun Kumar, President of Chennai Wordsmith, who is the runner-up for the Speak Up to Win contest. Let us hear what he was trying to say.
The very first question that came into my mind as soon as I heard the topic was, why did you stop it? Hello, Toastmasters and my dear. Why did you stop it? There could be three main reasons why one could stop doing the activity that they love to do. One, because they lost the interest. Two, because they are no more aligned to the goals of their life. And three, it could be because of the restrictions due to the society or due to the government. Now, with the lockdown in place, with global pandemic, we stop to do a lot of activities that we love to do. For example, I stopped going to the gym. I stopped traveling outside the state where I'm living. In fact, if you ask me one thing that I want to revive after the 2020, I would say definitely travel, because travel is something that makes you richer. And we as a family had a plan of traveling abroad for our daughter's first birthday. That was on May 14, 2020. But due to the global restrictions, we were unable to travel that period of time. And we are just waiting for that moment where the global pandemic is over and we could travel anywhere across the world. And we would want to revive this travel experience. Now, Toastmasters, travel is that one thing that I want to revive after 2020. And in summary, if you ask me, if you want to revive something in your life, first ask yourself, why did you stop it? And if it was because you lost interest, or if it's not aligning to the goals that you have in life, forget it, don't even revive it. But if it was because of the restrictions due to the external environment, as soon as it is done, revive it, enjoy it. Over to you.
So well said, Arun. So we are also waiting to revive our offline Toastmasters meeting very soon. And any guesses for the winner of Speak Up to Win contest? Let me give a clue. He or she is known for his or her smile. XCOM team fondly used to call it as a power star smile. So without further
Samyukta.
ado, yes. So the winner of Speak Up to Win contest is Samyukta. Let us hear what she has to say.
Alright, so this is my entry for the TT All Day contest. This is Toastmaster Samyukta. So the topic is, what activity would I revive in post 2020? One thing that I really enjoyed doing before the COVID-19 virus hit all of us was cycling. In fact, even though I got my license, I went cycling to college almost every single day, around 8 kilometers back and forth. And it was the most fun I had in the years since I joined college after leaving school. Cycling was probably the most therapeutic experiences of my day. Every day I went to campus. Just on the way, just looking at the people coming outside of the gyms, or the people who have just come back from their morning outdoor game schedule and drinking coffee at the Akshayam restaurant on the way, and just looking at all the different vehicles while standing at the signal, and sometimes even getting to see some rare vehicles. Especially given that I'm a motorsport fan, I have huge fun looking at all the road cars and trying to figure out the size of the wheels and all of that. The little things about going on the street, and quite simply just seeing the same people stand in front of their apartments doing their morning routines every day. At one point while cycling, I even ended up saying hi to a few people who would look at me as the weird girl who would be wearing a chudidar and a sports shoe and going on a cycle to college, because that isn't something you see a lot around Ananagar, to be honest. So yes, not only while going to campus, but even while I was off college and just home in the holidays, I would wake up early just to be able to go on the empty roads of the ICF factory roads, just the roads inside with lots of trees and amazingly beautiful environment where I get to cycle and just have fun. I haven't been able to do cycling much in 2020 because it's really hard to cycle with a mask on, because you're not able to breathe as much very freely, and of course with the restrictions and everything, and I didn't want to risk going out after the lockdown has been weakened. So yes, after 2020, hopefully if the virus goes away, I would love to get back to cycling and just get out there and just clear my head in the way that I like best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samyukta. Like, even I am also planning to revive my cycling activity. Like, it was not stopped because of Corona. It was stopped somewhere 5 years back. Till for the last 5 years, I'm just trying to revive my cycling activity. So still it continues. So thanks a lot for all the members who have been actively participated in the contest. Wait, did I miss something? Yes. There had been an extraordinary battle between the wordsmiths to get the answer whether work from home is going to be the way forward or not. And we are going to appreciate, or we are going to recognize the best speaker, rather the best warrior in each team. The best warrior who defended that the work from home is going to be the way forward is Toastmaster Shruti. And the best combatant, or the firefighter who's always offending our teamers, and the best combatant is Toastmaster Gopal. So congratulations, Toastmaster Shruti and Gopal. Okay, Mexican. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again, all the members, for participating, and I hand over the control back to RMC Toastmaster Aravind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, and a hearty congratulations to all the winners. I am indeed very fortunate to be a part of this wonderful club, which is having its 600th meeting today. And I'm extremely honored to be one of the MCs of this wonderful meeting. I had a lot of memories, made a lot of friends, met a lot of mentors, and learned a lot while being a part of this club. I hope that this club will give an even more enriching experience in the meetings to come. On this note, I am signing off, and I'm handing over the control to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhishek, to carry the meeting forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aravind, as well as Toastmaster Anandita, for taking us through an extraordinary journey in this Resurgence 2020. Before we sign off for this meeting, let me ask a very special person for wordsmiths. Also, a wordsmith is something very special to this person. So wordsmith is like a baby for this person. So who's fondly called as a father of Chennai wordsmiths. Let me ask the founder of Chennai wordsmith, DTM Abraham Zakaria, to have a few words here. DTM Abraham Zakaria.
Thank you for the honor. At the outset, let me pay tribute to some of the Toastmasters left us and who helped to set up the club. One is Ravi Bhaskaran, Rajiv Gabriel, and Toastmaster C.T. Thomas. May their soul rest in peace. There are a few others who are with us with bubbling energy. And the first is DTM Nina John. She helped us in many ways. She has taken up many roles during our demo meeting times. And she joined as a 20th member to charter the club. Then we have DTM Janagi Prasad Patnaik, former, we call him JP. He was a sponsor and mentor. And he made his son to join, although he never attended the meeting. Then we have Toastmaster Hari Kumar, who he turned around our club. Till then it was in a singing stage. That is Hari Kumar. Here I must say, Sridhar Ranganathan is the first speaker at the demo meeting of Chennai Wordsmith Toastmasters Club. Setting up Toastmasters Club is difficult, but it is not impossible. Okay, I missed one person, that is Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. She represents the division at Delhi, Ovation, first Ovation. She represents the Wordsmith Toastmasters. Okay, setting up a club is difficult, but not impossible. I always remember the quote by Dale Carnegie, arouse an eager one in another person. So I always read, giver is blessed twice, by deed and by the blessing of the receiver. We can bring more members and we can set up another club. Let's take a challenge to set up another club, Wordsmith version 2 or Wordsmith 2 before the next milestone meeting, 650th. All the very best and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, DTM Abraham Zakaria, for your wonderful words. Moving on further, so we have another very special person joined us for this meeting, our District Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Parthasarthi. Toastmaster Parthasarthi, can we have a few lines from your side, please?
Sure, Toastmaster Abhishek. Congratulations, Wordsmith Toastmasters, on your 600th meeting. Toastmasters who are here, guests who are here as Toastmasters, very good evening to you all. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this celebration. I know it has been a long day for all of you and you all had a wonderful event. I'm glad I could at least join at this point of your meeting. Now, Wordsmith has been something very close to me. In fact, literally, because that was probably the closest club for me, because I stay in Ananagar. So this was probably the closest club for me, even in the literal sense. And whenever I had a chance to visit a Toastmasters club outside my regular office club, a corporate club, this would be the one which I would come into. It always gave me immense pleasure for me to come here. And then sometimes even when I wanted to give a speech where I thought I didn't qualify in my club, I wanted to come back and I would choose Wordsmiths because this was a place I'm sure everybody would give a good feedback on for whatever we would do. Now, in Toastmasters, I wanted to tell one particular point. We might have discussed many things. Whenever we have a person who is not able to attend a meeting, or they're not able to attend a series of meetings, I would really request the ExCom officers or even the other members to check with them what was actually happening at their end. Because in reality, we never know what sort of situation that they go on. And the reason I say is this, because there were some Toastmasters who had left Toastmasters for whatever reasons that they had. And then when we spoke to them that, it was nice that you were, when you were there, and hopefully you will join us again some other time. We understand your scenario that you had to leave. So when we spoke to them, they would come back and say, thank you so much for asking. Actually, I was going through a difficult period in my life, and had anybody asked this question, why, maybe I would have considered more about continuing with Toastmasters earlier on. So this was a feedback which we got from some other Toastmasters when they were going on. So that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention as well. So that, when we might come across similar situations in our club, whenever we have people who are not able to attend meetings, or frequently are not able to attend, before they even leave, if we can ask them, if we can reach out to them, because it's not about being just a Toastmaster. We are also here to learn Toastmasters, how we can use them in real life. And in real life, we are all humans. So let's bring out humanity as well, and make sure we continue that, and we ensure that we celebrate Toastmasters and humanity together. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Hand over the control back to our Toastmaster of the day, or our presiding officer, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Partha. Definitely our ExCom will look into your suggestions. Next, I would like to hear from a very special person, at least for me. So she's our area director, Toastmaster Vaishali. Can you please address our Toastmasters? The screen is yours.
Evening to all the Toastmasters who have gathered for this meritorious celebration of Wordsmith 600th meeting. First of all, congratulations to the club members, and let us all have a round of applause for all the organizers, the team that has taken this meeting so well, panel discussion, debates, a lot of contests happening before this meeting has done. So kudos to all the young guns of Wordsmith, as rightly said by our district director Praveen. So this shows how much of legacy and lenience has been traveled for all through the 600 meetings. So my special congratulations to Toastmaster Abhishek, Samyukta, Anandita, and of course the captain of the ship, president of Wordsmith Arun. Sorry if I've missed few names. To all the team, resurgence of Wordsmith. So special congratulations to you all. All the seasoned Toastmasters, experienced leaders, and everybody have spoken enough about how Wordsmith has been and other things. If I have to just say one thing, so let us all use the fraternity for our own benefits and learn even more better. Be it online or be it offline, the value that Toastmasters gives us has always been the same. It's only the experience that differs with in-person meetings and through this digital mode, but the value, the learnings, and the better benefits that we reap from the fraternity has always been the same. So there has never been a dip with the values that we all take back. This 600 weeks has been possible because every member of the Wordsmith is able to reap the benefits out of Toastmasters. So we all, as we end 2020 and as we all gear up to the next year, so let us all have personal goals and try to reach it within the fraternity, be it in terms of public speaking, exploring leadership opportunities, or building our network within Toastmasters, or whatever be that. Let us all start preparing for the goals of 2021 and start marching towards it. And also, I'm eagerly waiting for the new team, the leadership team of ExCom, to come and take it over. So all the best to the team that is going off. I also take this opportunity to thank the ExCom that has been fully functional during the pandemic. I know how much of pain and effort Arun and his team have undergone that too, especially when you have to hold a club that has been in the fraternity for so long, decades. So Arun, this moment, I, as an area director, have to congratulate. So let us all applaud for Arun for all the efforts he has taken. I personally know how much of pressure has gone into him to handle all this club and other things. So Arun, I hope you will pass on all your learnings and experience to the upcoming team as well. So congratulations once again. So thanks for having me on this wonderful evening. With that, I hand over back to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vaishali, for your wonderful words. And just to reiterate, Toastmaster Arun had been a wonderful leader for this Wordsmiths. And you can see, so in spite of his hospitalization, he has connected to our milestone meeting to enjoy and to take away the learnings that we are having in this milestone meeting. So this shows how wonderful a Toastmaster Arun, a leader, is. So with this note, let me call upon our meeting co-chair, Toastmaster Samyukta, to present the vote of thanks.
evening, everyone. Um, Bringing together an event of this magnitude is not just a one-sided effort. It comes from everyone who is participating and everyone who has been working behind the scenes quietly to make sure that an event as monumental as the 600th is as worthy as the number. Now, I would like to take a few minutes of the meeting time to thank everyone who has worked towards this. Of course, the first thank you would be to the dignitaries, the guests, of course, the division director, Toastmaster Praveen Mani, and club growth director, Toastmaster Partha, for taking the time out of your schedule and for coming and gracing us with your presence, and for coming in and giving us some great words of wisdom and motivating us to keep the club going forward. I would also like to thank Area Director before Toastmaster Vaishali for coming forward and giving us her words of wisdom, and for really making sure that she's recognized the XCOM and all of that, which is quite amazing. So, and I would also like to thank you for your very inspiring and motivating words. The next person that I would like to thank is, of course, the person who is responsible for making sure the meeting starts on the right note. And he volunteered himself for this role. We didn't even have to call him. He said, I'd like to do this. So I'd like to take a second to thank Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, today's joke master, who made sure that the meeting started on the right note and that everyone was in a good mood going into the meeting. And I would also like to take a second to thank today's speakers, Toastmaster Shreya and Toastmaster Armugam, for giving us some amazing icebreakers and making sure that we knew them well enough. My next thank you goes to, of course, the warriors, the work from home flag bearers, the debaters of today's event. The walkie-talkie trio, Toastmaster Shruti, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, and Toastmaster Kannadasan, and the Three Musketeers trio, Toastmaster Ashit, Toastmaster Gopal, and Toastmaster Periyanna. You all put up some great points forward, and there was a lot of food for thought in the event. And all of it was perfectly well moderated by, of course, our club's Vice President, Public Relations, Toastmaster Sasikumar. Thank you very much. My next thank you would go to Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan for giving us his time and for coming forward and for giving us so many things to think about and lots of food for thought from the interview and giving us a lot of things that we need to remember going forward in the Toastmasters journey. And of course, the rapid fire and all the fun answers that he's given. And it was very happy and very nice to listen to him for those 15 to 20 minutes that he had with us. Would also like to take a second to thank my mentor, Mithun, who interviewed Toastmaster Sridhar Ranganathan and made sure the interview was a very fun event for all of us. Thanks. My next thank you is for the people who were responsible for adding the international flavor for today's event. The panelists, Toastmaster Claudia, Toastmaster Victor, Toastmaster Anthony, and of course, our very own Toastmaster Reena, for coming forward and accepting the invitation to be part of the panel, for giving us so much food for thought, lots of information covered, and of course, there was a lot of takeaways, which of course is the goal of a panel discussion. And all of it was so masterfully handled by our very own club's past president, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, who did a spectacular job making sure all the panelists were heard and all the panelists were given. Thank you very much. Of course, next, my thank you would be to Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria, who gave us the founder's address for, first off, founding the club. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you, sir. I would also like to take a second to thank a few Toastmasters who have been working behind the scenes to make sure the meeting becomes a success. Toastmaster Satish, Toastmaster Periyanna, Toastmaster Anand, Toastmaster Vaishali, Toastmaster Vidurar, Toastmaster Vivek, Toastmaster Vinod, and Toastmaster Balaganesan for their contributions towards the contest. The next thank you goes to the people who have been sailing the ship of the Milestone meeting today. Both our hosts, Toastmaster Anandita and Toastmaster Aravind. Both of you did an amazingly superb job, a job worthy of a Milestone meeting, a job worthy of 600. Thank you very much. Today's unsung hero was the timer, Toastmaster Vignesh. Of course, He didn't have screen time, but it was his cards that made sure that the meeting went smoothly and according to plan. Thank you very much. My next thank you is for the XCOM team and the team who put together the meeting, the 600th. The president, the vice president, education and membership, the vice president PR, the secretary, the treasurer. All of you have been a pivotal part of today's meeting, and all of you have made your contributions towards making an event like this a big success. Of course, from my side, I have two people to thank. First off was Toastmaster Arun for all of his efforts into making today's meeting become a success, for bringing in such varied people, and for also taking the time and coming to the meeting today despite all of his difficulties in the past few days. And of course, a very special thank you to today's meeting chair. When he approached me the first time and said, I'd like you to take up meeting chair for the meeting, I said it was a cold, hard, big fat no from my side. And to be honest, today is a 600 meeting, and my first meeting was number 582. So it was not long ago that I had just been part of my first meeting. So Toastmaster Abhishek made me stay on with all my inexperience and made me get all the learnings of being part of the admin team of an event as monumental as this. So thank you very much for convincing me to stay on and for putting up such a great show. None of this would be possible without you. I would be failing in my duties as a co-chair, as a sergeant-at-arms of the club, of course, as a member of today's meeting, if I did not thank every single member of wordsmiths, every single wordsmiths that this club has ever produced, past, present, and everyone who's about to join us in the future. Because at the end of the day, a journey as long as 600 meetings is made possible only because of the people in it. And a club is only as strong as its members. So thank you very much to all of you. That's all from my side.
So, and a special thanks to our coach at Toastmaster Samyukta. Like, she has been a very good pillar of support for me in helping me in making this Resurgence 2020 a wonderful event. And we are on time till now. So a special thanks to her and my team for making this happen. With that note, let me adjourn the meeting number 600 to 5th December 2020. And just to remind wordsmiths and Toastmasters, we are having our XCOM elections on 5th December 2020. So with that note, let me adjourn the meeting and open the floor for networking.